When you live with anxiety or trauma, which many of us have found ourselves with, especially after the collective trauma of the past few years, panic and overwhelm can strike at any moment. It can be hard to know what to do, and depending on our circumstances, our options might be limited. This 4-step process is incredibly powerful and requires nothing but yourself to execute. Are you ready to learn it with me? Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Kira Wackett. Thanks for joining me for another video as we work to empower and equip you with the confidence and skills to write your own story so that you can live your life on purpose. Today I want to share with you a 4-step process referred to as TCPP. Rooted in dialectical behavioral therapy, this process can help you regulate your emotions and physiological reactions in times of distress by changing your body's chemistry in a given moment and helping you regain a sense of control over your mind, body, and behaviors. Dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT, is a treatment modality that works to help people manage and work through intense emotional experiences and reframe situations to anchor on what's in their control. The underlying tenet of DBT is that our emotions and experiences in the world are constantly in flux, and our goal is to learn how to develop adaptive coping skills to manage times of high distress and conflict without getting lost in reactivity. A myriad of skills are taught to individuals to help them manage physiological and psychological distress, including the skill TIPP, or TIP, which stands for temperature, intense exercise, paced breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation, is designed as a pocket practice to be applied in high stress or crisis times. Now you'll notice TIP is close, but not exactly the same as the skill I mentioned we're going to learn today, TCPP. That's because I love the skill TIP, just with one minor change. While I think the intense exercise component of the original practice can be beneficial, there are a few limiting factors. First, as an eating disorder therapist, not all movement is healthy, and in some cases can be destructive to someone's mental and physical health. Second, not everyone's body can engage in intense exercise, which can create opportunities for people to self-select out of a skills application or get more deeply rooted in the patterns of terminal uniqueness, which I talked about a few weeks ago and will post a link to in the show notes. And finally, the context may not always allow for movement to occur. So instead, I switched out the I for a C, which stands for change in scenery. So feel free to use the original if that feels better for you. And if, like me, this alternative feels more accessible, then here we go. So what are these 4 steps? First up, T, or temperature. The goal? To do something to make yourself cold. Many of you saw the video that I did a while back, and we'll be sure to include in the show notes, on the power of cold water. In summary, cold water helps activate the mammalian dive reflex, which activates your parasympathetic nervous system and works to slow your heart rate and calm you down. You could do this by taking a cold shower, putting your face in a bowl of water, squeezing an ice cube or a frozen orange, or even drinking a glass of ice water. The second step is the C, or change your scenery. The goal is to anchor your visual stimuli on a new target or area not tagged in your brain as distressing or stressful. So your brain reacts to your environment. We've all felt it, walking into a place that instantly makes us feel tense or suddenly feeling like we can't take a deep breath until we leave the room. By relocating your visual field, your physiological response changes and you can relax. Now, the ideal situation would be to physically move yourself to a new location. If you can, go outside. And if physical relocation isn't available to you, pull up a picture on your phone of a time or place that brings you joy, or use the power of visualization and think of a time or place that makes you feel calm. Describe it with each of your 5 senses. Really embody that experience and allow yourself to go there. The third step is P, paced breathing. Our aim in this step is to slow down your breathing and focus on taking deep belly breaths. This cues your parasympathetic nervous system to kick in, slow down your heart rate, and counter many physiological effects of anxiety and distress. Now, various breathing techniques can help with this, and I'll be sure to include a link in the video notes below to a handout that I did on 4 easy access breathing techniques that you can do. One example is to inhale like you're smelling a flower, and exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out birthday candles. And finally, step 4, P number 2, is progressive muscle relaxation. I did a longer video on this technique a while back that I'll include a link to in the show notes. Watch it if this is your first time hearing about this skill, or if this process needs to be simplified or made a little bit easier for you to navigate. Now, the basic concept has you move from head to toe, or vice versa, slowly going from muscle to muscle, tensing and holding it while you take a deep breath. Then exhale and release. As you go through each part of the body, take note of your thoughts and physical sensations. Why are we doing this? Especially when, for many of us, anxiety already makes us tense? Because it's impossible to relax our muscles on command, especially when you're in a state of distress. Anyone else ever had someone try to help you calm down by putting their arm on your shoulder and just telling you, oh, just relax, it's okay? How'd that feel? For me, it makes me want to scream and metaphorically throat punch them when they say that. Do you really think it's that easy? So instead of yelling or getting flustered with myself, I can't magically relax my muscles. This technique uses muscle physiology to trick the muscles into relaxing by doing the reverse and forcing the brain to let go. All right, there you have it. Here's our skill, TCPP. Now, at the end of this process, your brain may still be buzzing around a little bit because the circumstances are still present. Nothing's actually changed. You haven't solved or fixed anything. You're stopping your body from rising up into or getting stuck in that state of reactivity so that the stress doesn't compound on itself. Then once we get calm or get to that place of resolve, we can address the situation more directly and from a place of reason rather than emotion. So let us know in the comments how this works for you when you try it, and if you come up with your own tweaks and ideas so that we can continue to make these skills the most supportive they can be for each of us. Be sure to check out the show notes for the links that I mentioned to these different resources and a few others that I think will be really helpful for you as you're learning to manage your distress and anxiety more effectively. And if you haven't joined the AR Insider yet, be sure to click a link in the show notes to get exclusive access to content, discounts, and so many other things that I don't share anywhere else. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to click that thumbs up and share this video with someone else you think could benefit from it. And if you want to stay in the know on all the happenings that I have on YouTube, click the subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am so honored to be a part of your journey to learn how to live your best life and giving you the skills and tools to allow you to not get lost in shame and reactivity. Remember, you have the right to author your own story. So let's go get that pen back.